Okay, at 6:15, we'll call the meeting to order. If everyone could please stand for the pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. If we could get roll call, please.
Catherine Solon, Abby Maddock,
Here.
Dr. Bardo,
Here.
Bobby Braun,
Here.
Jill Maddock Nelson,
Here.
Kristen Matt Miller,
Here.
Scott Peterson, J.D. Schrader, Danny Pyatt.
Okay, we will move to the student representative report. Ashley, this is your first meeting?
Yeah.
Welcome. We'll hand it over to you.
Thanks. Hi, everybody. My name is Ashley Pranke, and I am a senior this year at Antigo High School. I participate in Forensics Art Club, Drama Club, Literary Journal, and German Club. I'm the Student School Board representative for this year. After graduation, I would like to attend UW Green Bay for something in history and a minor in finance. One of my hobbies is fashion and making clothing, which might be a side gig after college. So, here are our club updates. Student Council is preparing for officer voting and planning for Captain Poultry Week, which is November 17th through 21st. Raise Your Voice is preparing for World Kindness Day on November 13th. Last week, 2 officers attended a leadership summit in Weston. Clubs and sports are signing up to help pack bags for the weekend backpack program. 4-H is coming to school on Wednesday during second quarter to run a program called 4-H Criminal Minds and Career Finds. This program explores mock cases and introduces students to different career options. Our sports updates are: winter sports signups was last week during lunch. We are excited to see what the winter sports season brings. Our winter sports meeting is on November 3rd. For field trips, we have this month FFA recently attended World Dairy Expo, Swiderski's, and Fall Leadership Workshops. It's Manufacturing Month, and there were 2 field trips offered this month. One to explore woods manufacturing in Stevens Point, and one around Antigo to visit different manufacturing businesses. Last week, our Skills for Living class raked leaves on Sunset. Our general high school updates. It's been a busy month at Antigo High School. The first week of October was homecoming with 284 students attending the homecoming dance. The second week of October was yearbook week. Yearbook students did giveaways on the announcements each day of the week and gave away a yearbook at the end of the week. The third week of the month was the German Club hosting Socktober. Advisories donate clean, fresh socks for local homeless shelters. At least 219 pairs of socks were donated. The advisory that donated the most socks won Jelly-filled donuts, aka Berliners. Frauschütz's advisory won. The food at the high school is way better now. It's balanced and it tastes better. Next week is only a 3-day week, with Thursday being parent-teacher conferences and Friday being professional development day. Teachers decorated pumpkins last week, and students will be voting for their top 3 favorites. The top 3 pumpkins will get a prize. And that's all.
Anybody have any questions? Okay, thank you so much.
Great job.
Thank you. Well done.
I feel like I need to take a deep breath for.
Bye-bye.
Okay, we will move on to recognition. Mrs. Oginski, the mic is yours.
First, we would like to recognize Dustin Racine, our systems administrator. We want to take a moment to recognize and thank Dustin Racine, our systems administrator, for being a steady and essential presence in the day-to-day operations of the district. Dustin plays a critical role in maintaining the systems that our staff rely on, managing user accounts, ensuring secure and reliable access to key platforms, and keeping core software tools up to date and functioning effectively. His behind-the-scenes work ensures that everyone across the district can focus on teaching, learning, and supporting students without unnecessary technical barriers. Staff consistently commend Dustin for his patience, professionalism, and responsiveness. Whether helping someone regain access to an account or resolving a system issue before it escalates, he approaches each task with care and clarity. His ability to calmly support users, explain processes, and anticipate needs makes him an invaluable part of our team. His work is often done behind the scenes, but it is foundational and always deeply appreciated. So a big congratulations to Dustin Racine. He is not with us tonight. Okay, and next, we would like to recognize Mr. Gerald Sell, Jeremy Doucette, Richard Grote, Jeff Rasmussen, and Caleb Lair for preparing the update in the middle school tech ed graphic arts room. A big shout out to our team for the time and effort spent preparing updates in the middle school tech ed room and graphic arts room. Your hard work and attention to detail are creating a space that's inspiring, functional, and ready for students to explore, design, and create. Thank you for investing your energy into making this learning environment shine. So would Gerald, Jeremy, Richard, Jeff, and Caleb please come forward? And we need a photo op as well. Jeremy's, Caleb's. There you go. Smile big, Mr. Doucette. Yay, thank you. And I might add that this work was creating a space that didn't currently exist before they put the elbow grease to it to set up a nice learning environment for students. So thank you again. Okay, up next, we would like to recognize Patty Meyer, Anna Hilger, Kelly Durline, Amy Reichel, Nicole Kohler, and Sarah Hooper for transitioning our WEB, which is Weekend Backpack Program, food program to a food pantry style for our students. Kelly, Anna, Amy, and Nicole, our student council advisors, are also having student council students help with this program at the middle school. A huge thank you to our fantastic team for successfully transitioning the Weekend Backpack Program into a food pantry style system for our students. Your thoughtful planning, collaboration, and commitment to meeting student needs ensure that every child has access to food in a welcoming and very respectful way. This change reflects our collective dedication to care, equity, and community. Thank you for always putting students first, and again, this also was a big undertaking, so a very special thank you to all of the staff. Please come forward. And then a photo op before you sit down.
She's not here.
Maybe the hallway. The one in the gym. I think in the office.
Digital, I know.
The one that's,
Would be nice.
the one that's down in the gym.
Maybe Mr. Doucette could whip one up for us.
I was,
A nice backdrop for photos.
thank you, Elise.
Thank you, ladies. That's all.
Do we have anyone signed up for public comments? Okay. So before we move into that, I'm just going to read this speech that we have prepared for the public comments.
The presiding officer of each board meeting at which public comment is permitted shall administer the rules of the board for its conduct. The presiding officer shall be guided by the following rules. Public comment shall be permitted before the board takes official action on any issue of substance. Attendees must register their intention to comment in the public portion of the meeting upon their arrival at the meeting. Comments made by the public shall be civil in content and tone, affirming the decorum established for a school board meeting by the school board. Disparaging comments, remarks about school board members, employees, students, positions, position titles, and/or district citizens shall not be permitted. Comments by the public shall be in reference to a specific agenda item. Participants must be recognized by the presiding officer and will be requested to preface their comments by announcement of their name and group affiliation if and when appropriate. Each statement made by a participant shall be limited to 5 minutes duration. No participant may speak more than once on the same topic unless all others who wish to speak on that topic have been heard. Participants shall direct all comments to the board and not to staff or other participants. Participants shall address only topics within the legitimate jurisdiction of the board. All statements shall be directed to the presiding officer. No person may address or question board members individually. The presiding officer may interrupt, warn, or terminate a participant's statement when the statement is too lengthy, personally directed, abusive, obscene, or irrelevant. Request any individual to leave the meeting when the person does not observe reasonable decorum. Request the assistance of law enforcement officers in the removal of a disorderly person when the person's conduct interferes with the orderly progress of the meeting. Call for a recess or an adjournment to another time when the lack of public decorum so interferes with the orderly conduct of the meeting as to warrant such action. The portion of the meeting during which the comment of public is invited shall be limited to 60 minutes unless extended by the vote of the board. Reminder to board members and speakers, this is not a conversation between the board and the person speaking at the microphone. The person at the microphone will be allotted their 5 minutes to speak, and we move to the next person who has signed up to speak. I think we're good. Do you have I can announce the name. That's all right. Thank you. Okay, we have one person signed up to speak. Mr. Holmesy, go right ahead.
Thank you. Good evening. My name is Jason Holmesy, and I'm a lifelong Antigo resident. I've also been involved with the school district for the past 7 years as an unpaid wrestling coach. My education at the Antigo High School allowed me to gain acceptance to the University of Wisconsin-Madison, where I majored in finance and investment banking. With the construction of the new elementary school, I was curious as to what was going to happen with the existing buildings. It came to a shock to me when I read the September 17th issue of the Antigo Journal that it was voted on to raise East Elementary at an expected cost of $150,000 to the district. Empty lots are currently available in the city of Antigo with the going rate of roughly $30,000 to $46,000 per acre. Some of those have been hard to sell and have been on the market for a long amount of time. East Elementary is currently 5 parcels at a combined 2.223 acres. This will lead to a high estimate of $70,000 to $100,000 in revenue, with the school taking an overall loss of at least $50,000 to $80,000. I think I have a better fiscal plan that will help our community. I will mention that plan in just a moment, but first I want to cover why I think my plan is needed for this community. A couple of years ago, Aspirus Langlade Hospital teamed up with the Langlade County Health Department to issue a report, Community Health Needs Assessment 2019 to 2022. This assessment mentioned that the top health priorities for our county were as follows. 1, substance abuse and mental health. 2, chronic disease prevention and management. And 3, access and affordability of healthcare services. In discussion of short-term goals for the first issue, the increase of opportunities for pro-social sober activities is mentioned. The second issue mentioned has increased awareness of physical activities locally as a short-term goal. The third issue is touched upon with a graphic explaining the children and poverty ratio. It was 17% in 2000, 23% in 2010, and 21% in 2017, which was the last year that they had available. These children do not have the funds to afford private gym memberships or travel club sports. The reason I mention this is simple. I see a need in this community for low-cost, healthy options. I've had the opportunity to lead wrestling classes at a local business during the spring, as well as teach jiu-jitsu classes in the evening. It saddens me to see the number of youth walking past our windows every day, smoking and vaping. I feel these youth would be better served with positive influences and environments. Another need I see in this community is the lack of sober recreation options for adults. As someone who does not indulge in alcohol, I have no interest in volleyball or softball leagues that come with a requirement to spend money at the bar afterwards. A third need in this community is space for our many organizations. I've had conversations with a few community leaders about the difficulty of finding gym space for events or even having a large room available for meetings. I would like to create a private community center that would offer an all-in-one solution to help the three community problems that Aspirus and the health department found. I would like to buy an existing structure and convert it into a private community center that would be alcohol and drug-free and offer evening sports opportunities for both adults and youth. It would also have rooms available for yoga, aerobics, and other types of fitness classes. I remember playing basketball at our elementary schools growing up, and anytime a group could get together to do something, we would jump at the opportunity. I want to create a space where that opportunity once again exists without the need of everyone having a high-cost membership. The existing space could also be used as a meeting space, as well as hosting community fairs and events. West Elementary makes the most sense in my business plan, as the location is ideal between the elementary school, the new elementary school, the high school, and the middle school. At 2.6274 acres, it would be hard to break even financially with just tearing the structure down. In the past week, I've met with members of the Antigo City Government. Currently, West Elementary is zoned as R3. From the Antigo Court of Ordinances, Section 14286, Number 1, an R3 zoning allows for any use permitted in the R1 district. From the Antigo Code of Ordinances, Section 14-226, Number 8, Section E, R1 districts include permitted uses for recreational buildings and community centers. The moral of the story, there would be no rezoning requirement for my plan. The City of Antigo has no interest in taking over the buildings and/or land, and of the members of the local government I spoke to are very excited about the possibility of my proposal. Even if the decision to tear down the existing structure is made, I would like an opportunity to buy the property as a whole, to build a new structure. If this is something that is possible, I would love the opportunity to discuss this with anyone. If there's another avenue I should approach in regards to this matter, I would appreciate being pointed in the right direction. I thank you for your time. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, we will move to the consent agenda, approval of agenda minutes, financial reports, district retirement and resignation report, and district new hire report. I'll be looking for a motion.
I move the board approve the agenda minutes from the September 15th, 2025 Board of Education meeting, October 13th, 2025 Building and Grounds, and the CPT Committee meeting minutes. District retirement and resignation report, district new hire report, financial reports for September 15th, 2025 and October 17th, 2025, consideration of bills, checks numbers 9227 through 9314 in the amount of $255,720.62. ACH's number 232401343 through 252600461 in the amount of $1,181,199.68. Wire transfers in the amount of $22,834.85 for a total of $1,459,755.15.
Thank you. Do you want to speak to your motion?
I do not, thank you.
Does anyone have any questions or comments? Okay. We can open the vote. Does anyone need to change their vote? Okay, the vote is closed. That's changed. 4 approve and then 1 abstained. I abstained from the whole thing. And we will move on to administrative reports. Mrs. Oginski, I'll once again hand it over to you.
Sure. So our first administration report is the Director of Business Services. Mrs. Fosbender is present if anyone has any questions. Our next director report is Director of Pupil Services and Special Education. Mrs. Wagner is present if anyone has any questions. Item C, Director of Buildings and Grounds, update on East Elementary. Mr. Leiterman is present if anyone has any questions.
Jake, can you give us a little bit of an update of where we're at as far as expenditures and such?
Yeah, so the required testing to satisfy the state costs about $6,000. So we have to do that, just being a commercial building, it doesn't matter what entity it is. We need to know every product in that. Likely, that's gonna be the case for all buildings. So just whether we sell them or raise them or do anything with them, you know, when we went through the Mattoon thing, that was also something that we did, when we got rid of those buildings along with the other elementaries. So that just takes a little bit of time, so we're about $6,000 in. That should cover all of that, and then I'll be able to put out bids for the demolition of it, and then bring pricing back for that.
Has anyone reached out to you as far as purchasing since the last meeting when we decided to move this way?
Yeah, there's been a few people that have called and inquired.
So then after you get these estimates, then people like Mr. Hohensee could bid, or how, I don't know how that works then, or is that totally off the table? Can you speak? Oh, I'm sorry.
So he's talking about the bids of raising the building. So at this point, if anyone wanted to purchase, it would have to come back to us to allow that.
So at that time, we would respond to people that are interested.
I would say let me know if I'm speaking for you, but if someone were to have a legitimate bid at this point in time, it would have to come back to the board for us to go back in that direction. Because currently, the direction of the board is to tear down the building. So if we wanted to bring that back to the table, someone who voted to take down the building would have to request to put it back on the agenda to sell the building instead.
Thank you. And then the whole process will start over again when West and North are doing the,
Right, we're only talking about east right now.
okay, sounds good.
So I would say, as I was very hesitant to vote to take it down to begin with, that if calls were made for legitimate purchases of the building, that is something that should be brought back to the board. But I did vote yes, so I guess I could go that route. We all voted yes. So, but I think it's important that we get that done before it turns to be January, because the main thing is we didn't want to pay to heat that building through the winter. So is that a feasible thing that would happen, that we would be able to sell it before?
Yes, I mean, we can certainly do that.
Can I ask a question first? I'm going to verify, because Jake and I have had some conversations about that property and properties in general. I just want to verify with you, Jake, or publicly on record, that you have followed up with any inquiries. So you're doing your due diligence on your end, correct?
Yes, that's the intent. I have not had any substantiated interest, meaning here's an offer that I would make. There's been people that have certainly asked, you know, about it. Could we do this? Could we do that? More of a thought conversation versus a legitimate offer. You know, do those people have all the intentions to do it? Do they have the means to carry that out? I don't know.
My struggle point is, because you didn't hear anything before the last meeting, correct? As far as interests in purchasing the building?
Not,
So that's where I struggle, is because we voted the referendum passed last November. We were going to do something with the buildings. Shortly thereafter, we voted to put them out for bid, and there was no communication from people interested, and now here we are at the 11th hour, and how long do we push it off before we're paying for that building
I would agree.
all winter long.
And then just a reminder is we have 2 other buildings to deal with after this one. So, there's certain possibilities with the other 2 being north and west. So I would support sticking to my vote.
I think this property is unique, east. It's just, all 3 properties have their different pros and cons. This one is right in the middle of a residential area. So, I mean, is it out of line to speak to my vote again? Or I'm in support of the direction the district is going with east specifically, given that it is residential, given that we have not had any serious inquiries. I think this is good in terms of interest, as we've heard tonight too, so I do not want that to be minimized in any capacity. I think it has sparked some good conversation. And again, to this point, nobody has come to you, Jake, or Glenda with something substantial of which there could be momentum. And if so, I do trust that Jake will provide that information to us.
Right, so basically, we could, until we approve a bid, we could bring it back to the board. So if anyone has a legitimate offer, now is the time, and that would be brought for east only, and that would be brought back to the board. Any other comments or discussion? Okay, we can move on. Thanks, Jake.
Item D is the Director of Technology report. Mrs. Mushak is available on a Google Hangout if anyone has questions. Item E is the Curriculum and Instruction report. Ms. Stutzriem is available on Google Hangout if anyone has questions. Lastly is the Superintendent report. On Friday, October 3rd, some district staff and I met with the partnership with the Roundtable group to discuss topics specific to our district, local businesses, and industry partners. The discussion was productive and forward-thinking. Some key takeaways included exploring the information or the formation of, I put in my report HR committee, but that was supposed to be Public Relations Committee. So that was an error, and I wanted to point that out. But there was talk about creating a public relations committee among that group. And also for the school district to prepare a one-page summary for the November meeting that highlights the positive outcomes and progress being achieved throughout our district. I would also encourage Ms. Maddock Nelson to share her insights from this meeting, as her perspective is valuable to the conversation, and she also is part of that group. If you have anything you'd like to add to that.
Just that the group's shared goal is to shift the narrative by strengthening partnerships and collaborative opportunities, building properties, also drove conversation, not necessarily directly in that meeting, but afterwards with city and county leadership. So it's bringing that tie together and having intentional, strategic, collaborative discussions regarding properties that the business that the district has and will be making decisions on. And the biggest excitement from a district perspective is hearing what can we do to help you, Unified School District of Antigo. How can we help you? How can we partner with you? Because the businesses want our district to thrive and are truly our number one fans. And they need people that are willing to come here, and they're reporting that negativity around our district is a barrier to getting qualified applicants. Not that our district isn't strong, but the negativity around it. So they're really focused on us becoming unified as a community, not just for the district, but for businesses, because when we thrive, they thrive, and vice versa.
Correct. Thank you. Another thing that we did this month was our district office administrative team and our interior designer, Sue, traveled to Appleton to visit a furniture showroom to assist us with decision-making for furnishings for the new John H. Bradley Elementary. We plan to bring several sample pieces on site so that teachers can provide their input and help guide the final decisions and selections for that. Mr. Leiterman and I continue to participate in weekly construction meetings with Myron and Blue Design. Mrs. Fossbender has also joined these meetings as they involve updates related to referendum draw schedules. Attached is a link to the current construction schedule. You can see it's about a 3-week time span of what they, how they map out the whole process. So I felt like that was pretty interesting, and I included that in my report so you all could see that's just one of the documents we get each week when we meet with Myron. Along with, there's a recent photo update of the project. I'm pleased to report that Myron and their team remain ahead of schedule, in part to the favorable fall weather we've all been able to enjoy. And there are pictures included at the bottom if you all want to scroll down and take a look at those as well. The next bullet is our Antigo Year in Review mailer is nearly ready to be sent out to the community. This publication highlights our district's accomplishments and ongoing initiatives. A great deal of time and care went into refining this piece to ensure that our many celebrations and successes are clearly shared with our community. Again, that will be going out soon. Please feel free to take some time and click through the link and look at it. It's very appealing, in my opinion. Recently, I also met with our county board chair and mayor to discuss opportunities for additional collaboration among the district, city, and county to promote all that Langlade County has to offer. This partnership presents an exciting opportunity, and more information will be shared as plans developed. We have talked about incorporating our strategic plans or intentionally aligning them so that there are connections between the district, the county, and the city, which makes sense. So I'm very excited about the work that will be happening between Steve and Tom and myself. Another meeting that I had was with Dylan Gretzinger and Allie Hinkleman from the Boys and Girls Club. They share some additional staffing to help support recess duty, the staff that they have there during the day. When kids aren't present, they graciously offer to help support. It also helps to provide supports to the students, and it gives them an opportunity to be able to talk to the students about the club. And we're enjoying that partnership with them very much. They have, they met with our pupil services team and shared some opportunities for employment with our school counselors at the high school so that they were able to promote that with students that might be interested. So a great partnership continuing there. Lastly, due to a recent vacancy, I've been serving as an acting principal at West Elementary over the past few weeks. It's been a pleasure to support the staff and students directly, and I am grateful for their cooperation and commitment during this transition. Thank you. Yes, sir.
Excuse me. Jill, I want to ask you a question about that meeting you were at. Mm-hmm. Was the term warm and fuzzy used during that meeting or soon after? It's a yes or no. Then I'm going to talk.
Not that I recall, but I wasn't
But we
actively listening for those words, but not that I recall.
But board members have heard that.
Sure.
Okay. And what warm and fuzzy refers to is that Mrs. Oginski and some of her staff need to be more warm and fuzzy. And to me, as a male, former superintendent for 20 years, that's a sexist comment. No one in 20 years of me being a superintendent ever asked me to be warm and fuzzy. They expected me to do my job. And I believe, and I may be wrong, but I believe the people who have spoken about warm and fuzzy out in the community are only saying that because our leader is a female. and it's wrong. She has a job to do. She has leadership to do over this entire district. And it's not about being warm and fuzzy. It's about being the best leader she's capable of, and I believe she's the best thing that's come into this district since I've known it. That's my opinion, and I'm done.
Any other questions or comments? Okay, we will move on to board action. Letter A, consideration to approve the second reading of Neola policies, volume 33-2 and volume 34-1. I'll be looking for a motion.
I move to approve the second reading of the Neola policies, volume 33-2 and 34-1 as presented.
Would you like to speak to your motion?
It is the second reading, so these policies have already been reviewed and ready for the final approval.
Any other questions or comments?
I would like to speak about policy 7544.
Go right ahead.
Okay. So I don't think as a board, we can really approve this because it says technology is a powerful tool to enhance education, communication, and learning. And then on the bottom, it says the district uses approved, not the bottom, but a little down. The district uses approved social media platform sites as interactive forms of communication. We don't do that, so I don't know that this is in here. I don't understand why we would approve this when we don't post on social media as a district anymore.
So that did come up in our meeting with Neola, and they said as it's worded in there, it gives, it was you, right? It gives us, or Mrs. Oginski, the leeway to revoke or implement. So if we took out that policy, and at one point we wanted to restart it, we would have to implement a policy first to do that. So this way, having it in there gives us the leeway to have it or to not have it.
Okay, that makes sense. It just seems a little like this is very good. I mean, it's talking about it being very good educationally, bridging the gap and all of the things, and then we don't. But I get it. If we want it back, we need this. Thank you.
Mm-hmm. Any other questions or comments?
You just tell me if this is out of line or not. Going back to the industry business leaders meetings, that was actually something that was brought up by several different businesses in our community, is the negativity on social media and what that has caused for potential employers. So I appreciate that it's in here to allow us the ability to utilize social media, and also businesses in our community have recognized that that has negatively impacted business and the district.
I would also say that there's a lot of people in the community that really miss it, really miss seeing the awesome things that are happening in our classrooms and the sporting events and the assemblies and all of the things. We have really great Facebook sports organizations that are posting a lot, so that is helpful. But I do think people miss it. Yes, it can be negative, but this policy outlines the conduct that the staff should follow. So just pointing out the other side. I know it is, I know that that's what businesses say, and some businesses don't, and some people love it and some people hate it, but.
Any other questions or comments on policies and the Neola? Okay, we will open up the vote, please. Anyone need to change their vote? Okay, the vote is closed, and it passes 5-0. Letter B, consideration to approve the second reading policy 7540.07, district-issued student email account update. I'll be looking for a motion.
I move to approve the second reading for policy 7540.07 6.07, district-issued student email account updated as presented.
Would you like to speak to your motion?
Basically, this is just reiterating that a student is not, it's not allowable for the student to use their school email address on a personal platform. So they can't use their student email on Facebook or Twitter or, so.
Any other questions or comments? Okay, we will open up the vote. Anyone need to change their vote? Vote is closed. 5-0, it passes. Letter C, consideration to approve the crisis plan 2025-2026. I'll be looking for a motion.
I move to approve the crisis plan 2025-2026 as presented.
Would you like to speak to your motion?
This was brought to Building and Grounds Committee. And that is all I have.
Any other questions or comments? Okay, we will open up the vote.
I'm sorry, I don't realize it doesn't go through.
Anyone need to change their vote? The vote is closed, and it passes 5-0. Letter D, consideration to approve Start College Now program. I will be looking for a motion.
I move to approve the Start College Now students for spring 2026 as presented.
Would you like to speak to your motion?
This was also brought to committee with numbers being close to the same, roughly the numbers are close this year as they were for last year. One notable celebration is an expansion of the classes offered, such as the Fire Academy, and there's some more business-focused courses that are also offered.
Anyone else have any comments, discussion?
I just have a shout out to the high school guidance counselors. My son had his junior meeting today and they really pushed these, and I just think that's great.
It is a great opportunity for all the students. Anyone else? Discussion? Okay, we will open the vote. Anyone need to change their vote? The vote is closed. Passes 5-0. Letter E, consideration to approve the 25-26 respiratory distress management plan along with the 25-26 physician standing order for school stock supply of albuterol inhaler agreement. I will be looking for a motion.
I move to approve the 2025-2026 respiratory distress management plan along with the 2025-2026 physician standing order for school stock supply of albuterol inhaler agreement as presented.
Would you like to speak to your motion?
This was also brought to committee. This is a annual that comes through committee and then is brought forth to the board.
Any other discussion? Okay, we will open the vote. Anyone need to change their vote? Vote is closed. Passes 5-0. Letter F, consideration to approve the medical advisor agreement 25-26. I will be looking for a motion.
I move to approve the 2025-2026 medical advisor agreement as presented.
Would you like to speak to your motion?
This was also brought to committee. There are no changes made from the prior year agreement, and just a shout out and acknowledgement to Dr. Patrick McKenna for again being willing to serve as our medical advisor for this upcoming school year. We very much appreciate his willingness to do that year after year.
Any other discussion? Okay, we will open the vote. Anyone need to change their vote? Okay, the vote is closed. Passes 5-0. Letter G, consideration to approve the report of donations. I will be looking for a motion.
I move to approve the following donations: $100 for AHS Choir and $100 for AHS Band, both from Diane Lodge, as presented.
Would you like to speak to your motion?
Thank you to Ms. Lodge for her generosity to the Antigo High School Choir and Band programs.
Any other discussion?
Mrs. Hammond, as I knew her when I had her in 7th grade choir, has been an integral part of this community and has been retired for a really long time. And the fact that she's still around and donating and wants these programs to thrive is just amazing.
Agree.
Absolutely. Any other discussion? Okay, we will open the vote. Anyone need to change their vote? Vote is closed and passes 5-0. Our next Board of Education meeting will be Monday, November 17th, 2025. I'll be looking for a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
So moved. Do I need a second, or are we good? Good?
Good.
All right, we are adjourned.